So tomorrow is a 50th anniversary reunion at Hethel, the headquarters of Lotus Cars in the UK. And I've been invited along with my Esprit. Several weeks ago got the invite and I just wondered whether I should try and get there, because it's about 135 miles, which is a lot further than I've been in this car since I've had it. And those of you who've been following the channel know that I've had more than my fair share of issues with it. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm setting off now. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's raining a little bit, but it's just stopping hopefully. But we'll see how we do. Will I get to Hethel or bust? So I've made it to the first planned pit stop. So I'm at a BP garage that's on the eastern side of Milton Keynes. Now I chose the route because it was the most direct. In hindsight, probably not such a great idea. So apart from the stretch between just sort of north of Oxford and Bicester, which is dual carriageway, the rest of it pretty much is single carriageway. And obviously coming into Milton Keynes, famous for its roundabouts. So it's really, you're at the mercy of whatever's in front of you, and it's often, you know, trucks, and there was a beaver tail towing a trailer as well. So, you know, various things that are sort of slow, and they can get up to speed on the you know, bits in between, but at each roundabout they slow down quite considerably. So maybe that was a good idea in the sense that it kept me at a decent speed, or kept me sort of low speed, so I'm not kind of ragging the car. But equally, it would have been great to have been on a dual carriageway and just kept up a constant speed. So anyway, I've broken up the journey into 3 parts. So this is the first part. It's about an hour I've done now, I think, to get to here. I've got a next stint that's going to be about another hour. That will take me to just north of Cambridge, or just outside to the north of Cambridge. And then another hour from there should get me to Wyndham or to Hethel nearby, just short of Norwich. So that's the plan. I don't know if I dare to say the car's going okay at the moment, but it seems to be all right. An hour is about as much as I've done before in one stretch. So what I've done is I've just, I don't know if you can see, just opened up the back of the car just to get the engine bay let the engine bay cool down. So the engine itself is fine, it's just in the engine bay it gets really hot. I've actually fitted a fan, a PC fan, with a little timer on it, so it carries on venting for a little while after I've shut down. So hopefully that sort of, as the car's going along, it's taking some of the heat out of the engine bay, because otherwise the air extracts, if there are such things, it's not the intakes but the outtakes, they're passive, they're based on airflow over the kind of ears. What do I mean by ears? These things on the sides of the car, you know, it's if the airflow goes over there, it sort of sucks the air out of the engine bay, but it's not very efficient, let's put it that way. So what I'm concerned by is if the heat builds up too much in the engine bay, then the carburetors will be hot, and maybe the fuel is vaporizing a little bit in the carburetors and therefore not fueling properly. I haven't had that issue at the moment, touch wood if I can find some, but you know, you never know. So I'm going to take about, I've been here about 5 minutes, just had a quick pit stop. I think I'm going to take about another 10-15 minutes just to let things cool down, just to let me cool down, give my legs a bit of a stretch, because it's quite snug in here for any length of time for me, being tall. And then I'll carry on the journey. So I'll let you know how things go, and I'll give you another update, just hopefully north of Cambridge. I've made it to my second waypoint, which is a Tesco car park and service station to the north of Cambridge, just in a little sort of village outside Cambridge called Milton, just off the A14. And that was a pretty good run. Again, another hour, but it seemed a lot easier. A lot of dual carriageway sections in that section, in that part. An awful lot of roadworks though, which was a bit of a pain. There was one particular one where I had to sort of slow down to a crawl, and always a little bit nervous in that situation because you just never know what's going to happen. Is the engine going to cut out, overheat? But you know, all was good. There's a bit of a sort of slight burning smell that I can smell. It may not be me because there's some roadworks going on. I kind of sincerely hope it isn't, but I'll get out and have a look in a second and just check in the engine bay to make sure everything's good. So this is my lunch stop. It's what time is it? It's about 10 to 12. So yeah, got a bit of a stretch here. Wondering if there's a cafe inside Tesco I can have some proper lunch, because I'm not sure what I'll be able to do for dinner later. If I can't find anything, I've got some sandwiches and I'll just have to get some something out later. Anyway, probably a half hour or so stop here, and then on again for the final stretch. So I'm still here at Tesco just north of Cambridge, and two reasons. One, I couldn't get anything to eat there, so I'm going to have my sandwiches here as well. But then coming back to the car, I get approached by some strange man, and it turns out it's a guy who's Gary, who's been emailing me about being safe on jacks and axle stands and things like that. So we had quite a good chat about things. He's got an Esprit himself. Came here in his Jaguar, his XJ. But yeah, I end up chatting for what, 15-20 minutes. Just funny, you know, real coincidence. He never expected to see me here. What are you doing here? Because he knows I'm, you know, a long way from Cambridge where I live. But yeah, that's just the Lotus Esprit community, isn't it? That if you meet someone else who's got one, you've got to stop and have a chat. No sooner than Gary had left, I then bump into another Esprit owner, a guy called Brendan, never met him before, who came along in his X180, and it's one of the last Esprit turbos to be fitted with the carburetors. Well, would you look at that? I've made it. Really pleased. Somewhere I've wanted to come since I bought this car, and here we are, what, three and a half years later. I've finally managed it, and I know I've got to come back again, home again tomorrow, possibly tomorrow evening, maybe Sunday. So I've, you know, effectively only done half the journey, but it was faultless actually. You know, I bit of worry in a few times when it was really slow in traffic, but the Esprit has performed brilliantly all the way here. So yeah, just gonna enjoy myself a little bit of having made it, and have a little look around if I can, and wait for tomorrow's event.
It might be.